Alright. Welcome back to another episode of the Salt Mines, everybody, where we see what makes people get mad on the StarCraft ladder. Krusty Discharge here in the bottom left says, I think I'm going to go back to Platinum after the balance patch. So, Protoss player complaining about the balance patch. And actually, it is a PvP up against Darkwave, who's saying, me too, it's so nerfing. So, two Protoss players a little bit upset about their favorite Void Rays getting nerfed, their offensive shield battery cheeses getting nerfed. So just sharing a little bit of commiserations here at the start of this game. Of course, this show is all about just looking at people getting mad, seeing their salt, and I kind of like this. We've got two salty Terran Protoss players just complaining about Terran together, getting on. Krusty Discharge says, yeah, Terran may actually have a chance in TVP. Now that's a little bit weird. I think Darkwave is like, wait, didn't you say, huh? May actually have a chance. So Discharge is kind of contradicting his earlier statement that like, oh man, I'm going to go back to Platinum after this. I'm going to be like, I've been nerfed so hard. And he's actually going for a cannon rush. He hides with the second probe, goes around the north side. So Darkwave should be checking this, but Darkwave might be distracted. He's going in with the probe, should be seeing the cannon. We're watching from Darkwave's camera. You got to look at your scout, bro. Bro, there's a forge. You just went past a forge. Darkwave's not looking. Darkwave has literally scouted a cannon rush, no gases, and a forge in the opponent's base, and is just not looking. Is not paying attention. The probe's getting killed as well. Looks at it. Sees the forge. Okay, sees the forge. He's got to pull probes right now. Sees a cannon on the low ground. If he pulls a probe, goes for that cannon over there. Pull the probes. Kill it. Oh my god, Darkwave is just not reacting. Darkwave getting distracted at the start of this game by the chat. We are watching a Silver League. He said back to Platinum. How? There's no way this is a Diamond League cannon rush. Surely. Really? Is this Diamond? 44 APM? I doubt it. I don't know what's going on with the trolling in this game. Why is there a cannon down here? This is the dumbest cannon rush I've ever seen. A pylon finally does build on the high ground. And it's, of course, all covered by that cannon. The Zealot takes a bit of damage. Good micro by Darkwave so far, but how are you going to defend this? We need another pylon here to power these gateways, and then you could maybe go Stalkers and use batteries and overcharge to take these cannons out, but man, they're going to be out so early. You could pull Zealots and probes and kill these cannons when they've just started to buy some time. It's going to be really hard for Darkwave, though. It does build another pylon on the left side. He's going to go for it. He's just going to pull the probes. Zealots going to the low ground, but you need to pull these probes to the low ground. But I think Darkwave A-moved them. They're all stuck. Those probes need to get down there to help kill that cannon on the low ground. And these probes need to move around the right side to get more surface area. Darkwave not getting a Krusty Discharge. Walls it off. The cannon on the low ground has already killed the two Zealots and a bunch of probes. This is not how you defend a cannon rush. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, man. This patch was so bad. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to go back to Platinum. Yeah, bro. Terran's so overpowered. And Darkwave, I think, realizing that, yeah, it was all a sham. It was all a distraction. Krusty Discharge, you dirty bastard. All right, going into the next game. We've got Collider down here in the bottom right, a Terran player. And it looks like this is going to be a TVT up against Clan Owl's Hollow Advice. I guess that Hollow Advantage? Hollow Advice? I'm going to say Hollow Advice. So I feel like this is like, when you're like, man, I am really struggling. Like, should I try to become a doctor or study to be an engineer? A young person finishing school trying to decide that. And the person's like, just basically gives fortune cookie advice. They're like, when you look inside of yourself, you should know unto the answer. And you're like, what? That's some Hollow advice right there. Well, we did see a good luck have fun from Collider, but no response from Hollow. Now that may be indicative of the fact that Hollow is already cranky. It could also be indicative of the fact that Hollow is just very focused on the build. Maybe there's a kitten in the room jumping on the keyboard. Could just be a distraction, right? No, lack of good luck, have fun is not rude in of itself. Some people say, oh, that's really rude, man. That's super BM. You're just super focused on your own thing. Like, I regularly don't see chat messages when I'm very focused. I just don't even notice it, right? Because I'm only thinking about the game, seeing what's going on. But I'm very curious to see what goes on, because we just saw two Protoss players complaining about Terran being overpowered while one of them basically set it up as a distraction to kill the other. This game will no doubt deliver something else fresh and new. I gotta say, I don't hate the rage in the last game. I think this is probably one of the ones, a lot of the time, let's be real, the comment sections in these videos and what we learn from the Salt Mines episodes is, yeah, some people are idiots and they make outlandish comments and they get salty over dumb things. But I think in that last game, we can all kind of relate to that. Oh, really? You chatted at the start while cheesing me to distract me. Get a little bit cranky. We've all been there before. And I think we all kind of, maybe we all associate a little bit with the Protoss player who was the victim of the rush in that last game. But I think it adds one more lesson. And this is really, at its core, an educational show. What did we learn? We learned if your opponent's very chatty at the start of the game, check your corners. look at your probe scout and actually check you're not getting all in. And if you are, react hard and fast. Single Marine out here for Collider. So very interesting to see both players doing kind of greedy 1-rax expands. The APM tells us probably about Gold League play. Could be plat, don't really know, but 50 to 70 APM. We'll find out once the action starts. 2 Marines are out, but 1 Marine will lose to a Reaper if the Reaper quickly A-moves and throws a grenade. But it's on move command. Nope, that's not going to beat those Marines. He turns around, he wants to get out of there. Can he leave? Nope, no way. Not the best route for Micro there. The Marines do take it down. Meanwhile, Hollow is going for 3 racks behind this command center, but has forgotten to make an orbital, so no orbital there. Collider did remember an orbital. They're both playing 3 racks. I mean, these two guys playing... This kind of feels like people have been watching my Bronze to GM. I think both of these players have watched my Bronze to GM, to be real. I mean, it's varying levels of execution. Like, SCVs aren't being queued back to buildings necessarily. Those two are. But overall, like, it seems pretty decent. Oh my god, Orbital finally gets remembered in the main for Hollow. Collider didn't scout at all, which is definitely not something I'd advise in my Bronze to GM, but Hollow did go across with the Reaper at least. Factory does now come down here, and just 3x versus 3x. No Orbital on the natural for Hollow. Let's check the control groups. There hasn't been any rage just yet, but I'm sure it's coming. 2 command centers on number 1 there. Let's check for Collider. So it was just Barracks Command Center, Barracks Command Center. So neither player using army control groups at all. So very standard there. 5 for the command centers and 6 for the barracks. Very far to the middle and right side of the keyboard for Collider. That's fascinating. And they're both kind of just doing mirrored builds. It's like, I'm going 3 racks stim shields. You're going 3 racks stim shields. You have a slightly faster factory. I'm better at making my orbitals on time, remembering to drop mules. Obviously, the orbital finished. Not a single mule has dropped for Hollow. So you're going to see it in the income. If we look at the income tab there, it's like, hey, yeah, there's mules mining for red. There is no mules mining for blue this whole time. So red is getting ahead economically the longer this goes on. On the other hand, army dead even. This is like a perfect mirror matchup right now. Oh my god, this is so great as well because these guys are just playing such uninteractive styles. Like neither one's really attacking. Collider hasn't scouted at all. Hollow didn't really do any safe scouting at the start. So they're both playing pretty straightforward in terms of I just have a plan I'm following no matter what. And that's fine way to play StarCraft. But I wonder, like, how is someone going to get annoyed at the other player in this game when you're both doing the exact same thing? Because that's always the dumbest time. And yet, let's be real, we see a lot of mirror matchups in the Salt Mines. We see a lot of players get the most frustrated by their own tools. And I think it just shows how easy it is to lose perspective. If you're getting angry at your own race, you're like, yo, it's too powerful. I got lasers. It's like, you have lasers as well. Yeah, but like he used them better than I did. Like it's the one situation where it's so clearly you're to blame. There is no balance or anything else. People go, well, I just don't like it. It's too fast paced. You know, they have all these different excuses. And the way I like to think of it is they're all analogies or different phraseologies, I should say, for basically saying it's too skill-based. I don't like it being so based off skill. I want there to be some asymmetry where my super powerful, like, long-range units kill their short-range units or something like that. You know, people don't like it suddenly being forced into, like, hey, who's better at using the 3x bio and setting that push-up, you know? Whereas, if you think about it clear-headedly, it should be the fairest environment where you know it's most competitive and you know it's going to come down to your execution. That should be a liberating concept. For many players, it is not so. So what do we got? Tank is building for a Hollow. So tank, he's going tanks a bit earlier. Collider though, 5 SCVs up, dropping mules. And I think the army is way bigger, up 6 Marines and 6 Marauders. So you can see the macro is just way better for red. So they're both playing very defensive styles, just chilling. Hollow's going for a 3rd base on location. Still no scouting, not even a Marine outside the base. I mean, this is true, just zero interaction StarCraft where neither player is getting information. And if you're not really getting out there and attacking or scouting, that's even more a reason for you to like not really have an excuse to get angry. I'm so amazed watching games like this, knowing that we're going to get some salt. And I still don't know who it's going to be from. I would imagine Hollow because they're behind, but they're building tanks earlier. And I'm telling you, a tank on the high ground. I've seen that win many a TVT at this level of play. But that is just double the Marauder count, 8 more Marines, more medevacs out as well. Collider's moving out for a big 5 racks push. The macro has definitely gotten a bit disorganized behind it. You can see it's not really added add-ons on these last 2 barracks, no 3rd command center, but marching forwards across the map. Now, where have these units been A-moved to? Right here. They're going to kill that 3rd base for sure. Can Hollow defend the next wave? Hollow building a 4th barracks and then queuing a 5th barracks with the same SCV. Oh my god, queuing multiple barracks with one SCV. That's so inefficient. Oh my god. Okay, the Bio comes forward. He's going to find the 3rd base. Is Collider. Collider is building a 3rd at home, trying to macro. He's going to stim on that 3rd base, but that's not an army, so that's a wasted stim. Those units are essentially damaging themselves for nothing. Now, our Hollow advantage does scan. And here's a scan as well with that tank on the high ground. Wait, the tank moved down! Oh my god, the tank moving down could be a disaster. I think when you take this tank shot, you might have to pull back as Collider. This is a bad position at fight, and no stim either. Collider now stims. Oh my god, what a bad angle. Collider may have had better macro, but Hollow is just baiting him into the tank fire. Those 2 tanks doing good damage. I mean, Collider may have a good enough macro to come back from here. I like the way Collider's going behind the mineral line. Oh, that's actually real sexy, but can't go any further forward. He's just on the edge of that tank range right now. The SCV's being pulled in and even boosts the medevacs away. Oh, Collider with a fantastic trade. It looked like really bad going into the wall, but kills a bunch of SCVs in the 3rd base. Hasn't really kept up production behind it too well. But overall, you can see slightly better units lost. There is one scary counter push coming though. Couple tanks, bit of a bio advantage. This is definitely the moment for Hollow to counter push. Hollow still doesn't have an orbital there, but does have 5 barracks going. Let's look at the production facility. So Hollow only has 4 barracks on a control group, no starport or factory control group. And he's going to scan the opponent's side of the map and is thinking about getting over there to counterattack. Let's check Collider's hotkeys. So Collider has all 5 barracks, the factory, and the starport control grouped. 2 of the 3 command centers control group. You know, it's interesting to see like what is actually being selected and built from here. It's obviously way more for Collider. Collider just has infinitely more stuff in this game. And now we've got depots coming down. I still feel like in TVT, I've seen so many people throw games. It's not over by any means. 2-2 starting on time for Hollow. So Hollow is getting some nice upgrades. Though had to go across and start them from very disparate areas. Whoever sets up tanks on a good angle and baits the other player into a bad fight usually ends up taking good fights now. Yeah, if Hollow can siege down here and then Collider attacks into it, that could be really good. Oh, just looking for that. Oh, fancy from Hollow. He's going to have to drop another scan though. Gets one shot off there and... that's it. Okay. Could easily just get stimmed on by the bio, though. This is not the best position for Hollow. If Hollow can, you know, was in range of the gas, something to put a bit of pressure on Collider, that would be big. Great upgrades for Hollow. Still no orbital in the natural and is not building out of most of these production facilities during this. You can see the supply count. Collider is just macroing at a higher level. It's kind of like 2 players who are doing the same thing, and Collider's just plus, what, 20%? Maybe 40% in the macro stats, maybe just 20-30%, but because the exponential nature of StarCraft, obviously that grows a lot. This tank's getting the occasional shot off here, but of course Hollow doesn't actually have vision out there, so Hollow either needs to leave a medevac forward spotting or needs to pull back, because right now he's in range of all of these marauders and he's just not getting hits off. So Hollow is staring at this situation while achieving nothing. He's now going to walk into tank fire. Oh my god, you know you can just move the medevac forward, not all the bio, right? Oh my god. Collider accidentally gets baited forward, could easily bust this position. There is like 6 units there. Collider finally realizes it after running. Oh my god, what? Oh, what are you? Just A move. This is the easiest fight of your life, Collider. Just A move. You've got so much more stuff. Oh my god. These players are so bad at judging fights. It's great. I love low-level StarCraft. It's my fave. It's so good. Collider's going to take a command center in the bottom. Hollow Advice does take a 3rd, finally rebuilding that, but of course way lower in resources. The army is just like half the army supplies. There's so much more stuff for Collider, but Collider does need to actually move out and take a fight right now. Is not doing that, and like I said, tank comebacks can always happen. The only problem is there's only 2. Where's the other tanks? They're not building because Hollow Advice doesn't have the production control group. The factory and the starport are not control group. It has a tech lab while building medevacs out of the starport. It's meant to be a reactor. Is making 3-3 though. And remember, this is only 1-1 bio, and it's all just sitting there. Collider not getting any map vision. And uh-oh, Collider's in trouble. This is a good angle for Hollow. I still think that Collider could probably stim and A-move this just with the numbers advantage, but Collider's trying to siege the libs. There we go. Finally does the stim A-move, but not before the 3rd command center goes down, so not a bad pick off there for Hollow. Hollow runs past a command center there. He's going to try and run home. Collider's going to try and chase, potentially. He's trying to split those units up and come from both sides, but Hollow should make it home. Still outnumbered 2-1, but way better upgrades, guys. Up 3 upgrades right now, and it could be up 5 upgrades because no 2-2 starting for Collider. Collider here is not bringing all the tanks, all the libs, all this stuff that's being built. So Collider, it had great macro, but it hasn't done anything only thing with it, and you know what? Okay, we'll get this command center. That's going to be a big snipe. Collider is still massively in the lead right now. That one does go down. Once again, though, maybe an unnecessary stim a bit early. That means you're going to be way more damaged than the opponent's army. The upgrades, just how much do upgrades matter? Not to mention the overstim. I think the upgrades for blue are really good. I think blue could have fought there. I think Holo Advantage might have been able to win that one. But, oh, now as tanks and libs come forward, that will be a disaster. There's still so many tanks at home. Oh my god, this is so ridiculous. The way these guys control their army is hilarious. No player has dropped this whole game or used Liberator, by the way. Holo says TVT. I love it. Do I detect a hint of sarcasm? It good, says Collider. Oh, I think Holo Advantage may be a little upset with this, but let's be real. I mean, this is just straight up. This is not a TVT. This was StarCraft. This was you getting out macroed. You're making all the upgrades and ravens and fancy things in the game without ever making an orbital on your natural or dropping mules for most of this game. So it definitely is a game where Collider just built up way more stuff. But I'm sure that's not the end of the rage. We're going to funnel into the tank Liberator. The bio's not there to cover it, so a pretty good break. The upgrade advantage is real, man. If you wait for 3-3, I actually think blue can win this game. You've got a 5 upgrade advantage. Guys, if blue can wait until the 3-3 kicks in, blue wins this game. The tanks, Collider keeps walking into tank range. And Collider, guys, never fixed up the mining at home. Oh my god, and Collider picking up, but there's an army right there. Run! Run! Oh my god, he's going to try and pick up and boost home. I still actually think Holo is going to win this game. I know that seems crazy when you're down workers and you're down at still close to half the army supply. But if you ever catch these tanks unsieged, I mean, your bio is so much better, guys. Just I want to give you guys some perspective, okay? When +3 finishes, it's so good, man, says Holo. I think, okay, so Holo's being sarcastic while winning this game in terms of just having way better tech, because Collider's forgotten about upgrades. Collider has 0 armor, 7 damage marines, whereas these are going to be 9 damage marines, 3 armor. So that means each marine is going to do 4 damage a shot for Collider. These marines are going to do 9 damage. So they are doing more than double the damage marine versus marine. Not to mention, Marauders, I mean, yes, they're going to be a little bit less affected by the armor, but if they're attacking Marine, 11 minus 3. They're only doing 8 damage a shot. The damage output from Holo's Marines is going to be so much better, and that's why there is so much room to come back here. And +3 vehicle weapons, the tanks are going to be smashing these Marines and Marauders with +3 as well. I mean, you don't have a big army, but you have a much better army. Now, Collider finally retakes this third, hasn't really transferred workers. For some reason, is going ghosts right now, and a lot of SCVs idle on both sides of the map. Here comes the push. Collider pulling back because Collider has not moved these tanks forward and doesn't feel confident with that. I think that command center should be able to get to safety. You got to be careful as Holo here. Holo goes after the command center, but that tank's going to start landing shots. Yeah, 2 tanks up there and the libs. So Collider defends this area. Holo is already frustrated. We know Holo's already a bit tilted, but dude, it's, you know what? You could double expand. This is going to be 30 minutes. Just take some expansions. Oh, you know what? Pick up and unload in the main. You could even pick up and unload your whole army in the main. There's so many ways you guys could kill each other right now. You got nothing at home. Oh my god, Holo is so triggered in this. It's like, there's just no way to kill you, man. The main's wide open. You could just pick up and put your army there. You could take 4 bases. Why are we putting random missile turrets? You have no income. You need army right now. And remember, the army is way better upgrade, guys. But Collider goes straight past. The army's right there, dude. What? Pay attention, Holo. You got to get back and defend that army, mate. Oh my god, Collider moving forward with such a bigger army. 30 Marauders. The numbers just might make it, the upgrades not matter. The upgrades might not be able to make up for that. Interference matrix gets used. Holo doing all the fancy plays. Where's the stim? Oh my god, did he move commands in? Don't move command in. But there's no stim from Collider. And the 5 upgrade advantage. My god. What a slaughter. Collider's unupgraded army with only +1. Oh my god, a 5 upgrade advantage. I told you guys it's monstrous, especially when you keep leaving all your tanks at home. But remember, the tanks won't care too much about the upgrades. Neither will the Liberators. Holo's thinking about doing a counterattack to win the game. Remember, when you win a fight like that, it gives you space to just take through 2-3 expansions and win the game that way. Holo doesn't want to do it that way. Holo will take out a Liberator, but he's taking some tank shots for it. Oh my god, Holo clumping up so much there. Oh my god, Holo attacking into a terrible angle. Holo, no, what is this attack? Attacking around a corner. Oh my god. Oh my god, Holo is so tilted. He's literally just set up in a position where he could easily contain his opponent and deny him from ever mining. He's mined out. There's no reason to kill him. You have a third. He doesn't. You can float your main to a new base. You could have had mining this whole time, and instead you've headbutted into tanks. This is the 300 IQ tip I'm going to give to everyone in Twitch chat right now that struggles in TVT. Don't siege up in the middle of a fight, number one. That was not the planned advice, but I'm giving it to you. Just go home and build more Marines. They're so much stronger. The 300 IQ advice, guys, is when your opponent's tanks are sieged up, don't headbutt into them. I know this is really hard for people to grasp. Basically, they're sitting here, attack in the main, or just contain them, or go attack somewhere else. Don't A-move into your opponent's tanks unless you got a really good reason. Just use the fact that they're pinned back defensively and macro up. There's no reason to go out here and fight. But dude, the Marines just don't take damage. With Medivacs healing each of them and the 5 upgrade advantage, they're so much stronger. These elite units are absolutely insane. For Holo, these Marauders aren't really going to be dying, but there's just no damage output behind it because you've got so many less units. Collider is going to nuke in this game. This is so friggin' hilarious. Collider with way better macro, but forgetting about upgrades and taking some awful engagements. You are 0 out of 1. ICAM 3 out of 3. Cancer joke race. Oh, syntax error. Syntax error. Like, how the F do you win? Holo's broken. These fights, if I'm 3-3, 3-3, I'm 3-3, you're 0-1, it shouldn't matter. What do you do? Guys, we found our Artosis SD2 account. 3-3 to +1. That makes no sense. You have extra minerals and gas. For sure! It's a meltdown! Collider's like, I have better macro. Upgrading is macro! You didn't upgrade! You can't have good macro if you didn't upgrade! That's not how it works! You're a stupid barracks man! Why are you playing the overpowered race? You jokers complain about PNC when it's this joke. Oh my god. Okay, guys. Please explain your theories in the comments on how you think Holo came to this thought process. I think what we're seeing is Holo is originally a Protoss or Zerg player, and everyone complained that those races where Ember and Terran was harder. So has swapped to Terran to like play the elite race, and is now... like, Terran doesn't even need to make upgrades so they can just win. Beautiful, beautiful game. Well played from both players. I love watching low-level players bash their heads into each other. This was a fantastic game from both sides. Shout out to the nuke at the end from Collider. GG, well played. And thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you in the next episode of the Salt Mines. Goodbye and good night.